that crap that Nate talks about, the MOTB, it being sin. It's just, you talk about brain dead, slow bellies, like the scriptures call individuals like that. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it, man.
Check it out. 14 tomorrow. Job 10:14. Job chapter 10, verse 14. If I sin, then thou markest me. That goes. Wait a minute. Let's put.
And then that scripture, Job 10 and 14, let's go there. The scripture is very specific in Revelation 13:16. It says the mark. There are many marks. The scripture in Revelation 13:16 is very specific, not Pacific. Very specific. Okay, it's the mark of the beast. Now, if you know who the beast is, the beast has its own mark. Okay, so for that's very disingenuous for Nate to use Job 10 and 13. Here in Revelation 13:16, it speaks about a specific mark. Revelation 13:16, he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their foreheads, or receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast. So it's a specific mark, the mark of the beast. What is it? What is this mark of the beast? This beast, which is a metaphor for who? For the Edomite power structure. Okay, this beast. This is the power structure of the Edomite, which comes in the form today, coming in the spirit of Ned Beatty from the movie Network, today. Okay, if you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. That beast today comes in the form of the Edomite power structure, which comes in the form of what? NATO, all right? NATO, also known as what? The ECC, all right? The European Common Market, okay? Which goes back to what? The 10 toes, which is what Nebuchadnezzar saw in his dream, which the prophet Daniel interpreted. Okay? So that is the beast, which is a metaphor. Okay, when when the Apostle John saw the vision on the island of Patmos, he actually saw a beast, but it's a metaphor. Okay, he actually saw a beast. When he saw the woman, he actually saw a woman. But the woman was a metaphor for what? For America. That woman represented America. Okay, that woman that the Apostle John fell in love with, that admired. Okay, that represented America. So it's the same thing with this beast. This beast is a metaphor for the Edomite power structure. Okay, the European Common Market, NATO. Okay, so this Edomite power structure, which the beast is a metaphor for, has a mark. And what is that mark? Well, when you go into the word mark in the Greek word there is charagma. Some say charagma, which is a thing that's going to be inserted inside of you to mark you as what? A citizen of the so-called New World Order, because that's what the Edomite power structure wants to bring. They want to bring a New World Order. It's on the back of your $1 bill. The pyramid with the all-seeing eye. Okay? So for Nate to teach that the mark of the beast is sin, right? It's a sin to take it. It's a violation of, what is sin? Transgression of the Lord's law. In the book of Leviticus, it specifically says, as a matter of fact, let's go to it. Leviticus 19. All right, Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19 and 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord. Now the cuttings in the flesh for this mark of the beast to be inserted inside of you, which is the RFID chip. A cutting has to be made into your flesh to insert that chip into your body. And when you go into the word chiragma, which means a thing inserted, the root word for chiragma is karax, the Greek word karax, which is literally the instrument that's going to be used to insert that chiragma thing inserted inside of your body. It's easy to understand, okay, by someone that their brain is actually working. It's easy to understand, all right? But like Elder Pastor always says, you got nothing but zombies over there at the IUIC. This is way above their pay grade. You see? So that's why taking the mark of the beast would be sin. But the mark of the beast itself is not sin. It's an actual device that they want to put inside of you for control, for total control. That's what it's all about. So once again, for let's go to Job now. And then we're going to go back to the video. Job 10 and 13. So for Nathaniel to use that scripture, talk about, well, that's why the Ezekiel 13 and 4, O Israel, thy prophets are like the foxes in the desert. It's not that Nathaniel is stupid. He's just being deceiving. He's being real cagey. He's being real deceiving. Okay? Job 10 and 14. If I sin, then thou markest me. This is not the mark of the beast. This is a different mark. Okay? This is a different mark. There are many different type of marks, you know. In Revelation 13:16, it's very specific. It's the mark of the beast. So this beast has a mark. What is his mark? See? Boy, I tell you.
Wait a minute. Let's put in the cart before the horse. He said the mark is sin. Now Job is saying, if I sin, then the Lord marketh me, which has nothing to do with the word mark in Revelation. Two different words.
Exactly, and two different concepts. In Revelation 13:16, it's very specific. It's the mark of the beast. This beast has a mark. What is his mark? And I already explained to you what his mark is. Totally different from Job. Now, what about rightly dividing the word of truth? Totally different from Job 10 and 14. That's not an example of rightly dividing the word of truth, man. That's an example of being deceptive. Is it not written rightly dividing the word of truth? He ain't doing that. And you have to ask yourself, why is he going above and beyond to be so deceptive with this mark of the beast? That proves that he's taking the bag, man. I mean, he can't be that fucking stupid, which he ain't. He's being deceiving. Talking about Nathaniel, man. 2 Timothy 2 and 15, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, and he ought to be ashamed of himself. Rightly, here's the key, rightly dividing the word of truth. So when you're using Job 10 and 14 to prove that this mark of the beast located in Revelation 13:16 is sin, then you're being deceptive, man. Because those are totally two different marks. Totally two different marks. Okay? Let's get back to the video.
Which has nothing to do with the word mark in Revelation. Two different words.
Exactly.
This idiot, because he doesn't understand it, he doesn't go to the Hebrew, all right?
Well, that's true.
Or the Greek.
That's true. He don't go to, or maybe, well, not, at least not on camera. We believe behind the scenes he does. We believe behind the scenes, he'll go to the blue letter. He'll go to the sources that we go to. He made a statement. He said that he watches all our videos. Okay, and that he made that statement to Elder Apostle Ricard when he ran into Elder Apostle Ricard. But on camera, you know, like he is now, he won't do it. You know, he's keeping that deception going.
You come across the word marking in English. Anytime you see the word mark, it means the same thing. No, you dumbass.
Exactly.
But we don't really believe he's dumb. We believe he took a bag.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a main motivation why he's keeping that deception going, and that main motivation is because he's taking the bag. And if indeed he took the bag, if you try to go back, if you try to bite the hand that feeds you, as they say, they very well may delete you. Okay, you've heard the saying, "in too deep." If he's in that deep, he's gonna be hell to pay to get out. Another example is when you go to scriptures like Ezekiel 9:4. That's a totally different mark. All right, Ezekiel 9:4. You know, listening to Nathaniel, you'll think every time you see the word mark in the scriptures, it's it's the same concept. No, it's not. This is where the word context comes into play. It has to be in the right context, rightly divided. The Apostle Paul told Timothy in that letter, you must rightly divide the word of truth. And stop being so deceptive, man. Here it is right here, Ezekiel 9:4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. What is that mark? That mark is this knowledge, this truth. Okay, which exempts you from judgment. What judgment? Judgment that the destruction Yahushua is coming with, which is those nuclear missiles along with the chariots, both bringing fire. That means you're set aside. That's what that word mark there means. You're set aside so you don't take part in that judgment. All right. And this scripture comes to mind is 2 Timothy 3:18. Because when you go into this word mark here, which is a totally different mark from Revelation 13:16, I'm just giving you an example of how it's not every word you see that says mark is the same concept. You have to get into the context of it, of how the word is being used. In this case, Ezekiel 9:4, here you see the word mark here, the Hebrew thawah, which means what? Mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. See? So this mark, which is the knowledge of these scriptures, the true knowledge, the 100% truth, will exempt you from judgment. And the scripture to back that up is rightly. Now you see what I'm doing? I'm giving you an example of rightly dividing the word of truth. Based upon the word mark in Ezekiel 9:4, the scripture that links in with that is 2 Timothy to show you that the mark is this knowledge, this truth. Pursuant to Ezekiel 9:4, this is 2 Timothy 3. And what is it? Okay, it's not 2 Timothy 3. Might be. I know it's in Timothy, but I'll find it. James. I always think it's 2 Timothy. Forgive me. James, the 1st chapter and the 21st verse. So let's go over that again. Ezekiel 9:4, the mark that you see there, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry, for all the abominations, all the wickedness that's being done in this society. Set a mark upon them that be done in the midst thereof. Right, all the wickedness that is going on in this Edomite society. Set a mark upon these brothers that are sighing and crying against it. What is that mark? When we go into Hebrew, the word there, as we did, is tawah, which means what? Exempt from judgment. So what is that mark? Pursuant to Ezekiel 9:4, as we see here, mark, right? Tawah, it says exempt from judgment. What is that mark in Ezekiel 9:4? That mark is the knowledge of the scriptures. Now we go to James. James 1:21. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, right? And here's the point. And receive with meekness humility, because the key of longevity in this faith is to be humble, to always be humble. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, right? So receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your soul. So that's your mark there for Ezekiel 9:4. See that? Engrafted, meaning once you receive this knowledge, this truth, you are marked. If you receive it and you believe in it and you follow it and you have faith in it, then you are marked. You're set aside from judgment. Okay? As a matter of fact, even the Apostle Paul said he bear the marks of Yahushua. So this knowledge, this truth is likened unto a mark. Okay? You know, when the Israelites had to put that blood, they had to mark their doorposts for the Passover, because the angel of death would pass over them. When he saw the blood on the doorpost, that was the mark that the angel of death needed to see to pass over that house and not bring judgment upon that house. You see? So the mark now is this knowledge, this truth, pursuant to Ezekiel 9:4, is this knowledge, this truth that we are receiving, so that when judgment comes, it'll pass over us. You see? So this is a far different mark than Revelation 13:16. Revelation 13:16 in particular is talking about the mark of the beast. This beast has a mark. What is his mark? This beast, what is his mark? I already explained to you what his mark is. An electronic device he wants to put inside of you for total control. I mean, it's very easy to understand, man. Here it is right here, Galatians 6:17. From henceforth, let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahushua. And that could be said for us too, beginning fellow pastor on down. We bear the mark of Yahushua. What's the mark of Yahushua? This understanding, this knowledge, this truth, in which Yahushua had to shed his blood on the cross for us to receive it. So that is another mark. That in itself is a mark. So you can't just take just some random scripture just because it has the word mark in it and use it to deceive people, man. This is what Nathaniel is doing. Let's get back to the video.